You think you're awake, don't you? You tell yourself you're in control, that you've got it all figured out. But deep down, in the deepest pits of your soul, you know the truth. You're nothing but a coward hiding behind excuses. You hide behind that mask of comfort, trying to convince yourself you're doing enough. You think you're living, but in reality, you're just going through the motions. Every day you wake up, do the same damn thing, and pretend you're making progress. You aren't making progress. You're just waiting to die. Right now, in this very moment, you are living like a psycho in their minds. You're existing in a state of paralysis, crippled by your own pathetic thoughts, as others who are stronger, hungrier, more relentless, run circles around you. But even worse, you're not even aware of it. You're too busy in your comfort zone, numbing yourself with the bullshit you tell yourself. You think it's okay, but deep inside, you know it's not. Your life is a lie. You sit in silence, pretending the world around you doesn't matter. But guess what? While you sleep, while you lie to yourself, lying in your bed, hiding from the pain, the struggle, the fight, God's vengeance is waking up. It's watching. It's waiting. It sees you, and it's coming for you. You think you're safe, don't you? You think because you're not facing the consequences now, you can relax. You think this is all going to be okay. It's not. It's coming. The price of your complacency will be paid in full. The way you're wasting your time right now, the way you're ignoring the fire burning deep within you, is going to be your downfall. And no one's going to warn you. No one's going to hold your hand when it hits. You wake up every day stuck in the same cycle. You make excuses. You say, I'll get to it later, I need more time, I'm not ready yet. That's what losers say. That's what weaklings say. That's what people who will never amount to anything say. You're too comfortable. And that comfort is what's killing you. You're killing your own future slowly and quietly, and you don't even realize it. But here's the cold, hard truth. You aren't entitled to success. You aren't entitled to anything. The world doesn't owe you shit. The people who are out there crushing it, who are building their empires, they're not sitting around waiting for their perfect moment. They're out there taking what's theirs. While you sit on your ass complaining, they're taking massive action, tearing down barriers, moving forward, and leaving you behind in the dust. Do you think they're special? No, they're not. They've just learned something you refuse to accept. You must destroy your weakness. You must wipe out your comfort zone. You must unleash the beast that you have locked inside. They know what you refuse to admit. You have to earn your spot in this world, and no one's going to give it to you. You want to be successful. You want to be great. You better be willing to do things that others won't. You better be ready to pay the price. Look at your life. What have you actually accomplished? How many dreams have you buried? How many opportunities have you let slip through your fingers? You're so damn scared of failure that you'd rather hide from life than face the battle head on. But guess what? Life doesn't care about your fear. Life will come for you, with or without your permission. You see, while you lie in your bed, wrapped in your delusions, the world is moving. It's shifting. It's evolving. And you're staying stuck. You're living like a psycho in your own head, pretending that you can afford to waste time. You can't. Time isn't your friend. It doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care that you think you'll start tomorrow. Time will pass, and when it does, you'll be left behind, a shadow of the person you could have been. The truth is ugly. You don't want to hear it. But here it is. If you don't change now, if you don't stop lying to yourself, if you don't stop hiding, the life you want will remain a distant fantasy. Your dreams will die. Your potential will wither. And when you're lying in your grave, thinking about all the chances you wasted, all the moments you chose comfort over struggle, you'll finally find what you threw away. But by then it'll be too late. You think you can keep living like this, hiding, pretending lying. Let me tell you this, it's not an option. You want to keep wasting your life in silence while others take action. Fine. But remember this, when you look back in 5, 10, 20 years, you'll see that all you did was watch the world pass you by. This isn't a game. This isn't about finding yourself. This is a war, and it's a war that's happening right now while you sleep. It's happening while you make excuses. It's happening while you waste another hour of your life. You think God's vengeance isn't watching? Think again. The real question is, what are you going to do about it? You've been fed a lie, and you swallowed it whole. The worst part, you still believe it. You still cling to it like it's the one thing keeping you from facing the cold, hard truth. You tell yourself things like, I'll start tomorrow. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. These are the words of someone who is so terrified of failure that they'd rather stay stuck in a world of mediocrity than risk falling flat on their face. The truth is, you've built a world around you of excuses. Every time you look in the mirror, you don't see a warrior ready for battle. You see someone who has made peace with their weakness. You've given yourself permission to fail, and you're letting that failure define you. Let me make something clear, you're not special. The world doesn't care about your sob stories. No one is waiting for you to get it together. No one is holding space for your doubts and uncertainties. Those excuses you keep feeding yourself, they're a shield, a way to hide from the brutal reality that you're not doing enough. Every time you make another excuse, you dig yourself deeper into the hole. You think it's protecting you, but it's not. It's suffocating you. You lie to yourself constantly, and here's why. You've been conditioned to think you can't handle the grind. You've been told that success will come easily, that it's about finding the right moment, that it's about being in the right place. You've convinced yourself that somehow, if you just wait long enough, the universe will throw success at your feet. That it's about timing, luck, and fate. Bullshit. Success isn't a gift. It's not something that's handed to you. It's something you take. You want it. You better be ready to fight for it. And that fight starts now. But you keep listening to that voice in your head that says, not today, not yet. You need more time. That voice isn't telling you to wait, it's telling you to run. It's telling you to hide from the pain. It's telling you to give up before the real work starts. You listen to it. And every time you do, you dig your own grave a little deeper. But you're not alone in this. No, you've got an entire army of excuses backing you up. They're strong. They're persistent. And they're feeding you the same lies day after day. You're not ready, you don't have the skills, you're not good enough. Those words have become the chains that bind you. And the worst part, you've convinced yourself they're the truth. Every time you fall short, every time you fail, those chains tighten just a little more. And still you listen, you obey. You live your life like a slave to your own insecurities. It's pathetic. You've made peace with your mediocrity, and you think that's okay. You sit there comfortable in your own misery, pretending like your dreams are just out of reach because you don't have the time or you're not ready yet. Well, guess what? No one is ever ready. There's never a perfect time. There's never a moment when you'll feel completely prepared to take that first step. You think there's some magical point in time when everything will fall into place, and then you can go after what you want. You couldn't be more wrong. You'll never be ready. The only thing you can do is step into the chaos, face your fears head on, and start now. Look at your past. Every time you told yourself you weren't ready, did anything actually change? No, nothing happened. You stayed in the same place, living the same life. That's the pattern you've built. And the longer you let it run, the harder it becomes to break free. You've become so comfortable in your own self-delusion that you can't even see the walls closing in on you. How many chances have you let slip by? How many opportunities did you let fade away because you told yourself you weren't ready? How many times have you convinced yourself that next time will be different? Next time will never come. You're stuck in an endless loop of self-deception, and you've become its prisoner. Every time you say tomorrow, you die a little more inside. You waste your life chasing the fantasy of perfect timing, and every time you do, the clock ticks louder and louder in your ear. Do you know what's even worse than that? It's the fact that you know it's a lie. Deep down, you know this. You know you've been feeding yourself a load of garbage, and yet you keep swallowing it. The moment you stop lying to yourself is the moment you take control. Until then, you'll stay stuck in the muck of your own lies, watching everyone else pass you by. The lie you tell yourself isn't even about what you don't have. It's about what you refuse to acknowledge. You refuse to acknowledge the power within you. You refuse to acknowledge that the only thing stopping you from succeeding is your own damn unwillingness to take action. You refuse to acknowledge that you have everything you need right now. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about recognizing that the right moment is right now. You're not waiting for something to change in the universe. You're waiting for something to change inside of you. That's the lie. You think you need more. You think you need to be someone else. You think you need more time. You don't need anything more than what you already have, the will to act. Every excuse you make is a betrayal of your own potential. Every time you say, I'm not ready, you're killing your future. Every time you tell yourself, I'll do it later, you're feeding the monster of procrastination that will devour every dream you've ever had. Every time you fail to act, you're telling the universe that you don't deserve success. And guess what? The universe doesn't care about your excuses. The universe rewards action, not intentions. So let me ask you this, how much longer are you going to let the lie control you? How much longer are you going to let your excuses define your life? The truth is staring you in the face, and the only thing that's stopping you from seeing it is your own fear, your own weakness, your own comfort. You've convinced yourself that you're not good enough, not capable enough, not ready enough, but you are. And if you don't believe that, then you'll continue living a life of regret. You'll keep looking back, wishing you'd taken that leap, wishing you'd faced your fears, wishing you'd pushed yourself harder. But all those wishes won't mean a damn thing. The time to act is now. Stop lying to yourself. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Only now exists. And the only question you need to ask yourself is this: what are you going to do about it? Here's the raw truth. You've been living in a fantasy. Every single day you've been hiding behind lies, pretending that you're in control when you're not. The truth is ugly, and it's painful, but it's the only thing that can set you free. You're not special. You're not the exception to the rule. You're not going to be handed success just because you showed up. That's the reality. That's the cold, hard truth you've been avoiding. And every time you run from it, you're running from the life you want. You've spent years believing that you're entitled to greatness without the work, without the sacrifice, without the battle. You aren't. You think because you've got potential that you deserve success. No, you don't deserve anything. No one does. You think the world owes you something. Guess what? It doesn't. The world doesn't owe you shit. You're not owed an easy life. You're not owed respect. You're not owed success. You're not owed anything. You have to earn it. You have to fight for it. And right now you're sitting on the sidelines watching others take what should have been yours. And you're still trying to figure out why you're stuck in the same place. You're stuck because you won't move. You're stuck because you refuse to pay the price. And here's the thing about that price: you'll never be prepared to pay it. You think you're going to wake up one day feeling ready, like it's going to just click. It won't. You're never going to feel ready. The only thing that will prepare you is action. The only thing that will force you to grow is the relentless pursuit of what you want, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how much it takes. But you're too busy waiting for some magical moment, when everything aligns, when all your ducks line up in a perfect row, when the stars align just for you, it's not going to happen. Here's the truth: you are not prepared for the life you want, but you can be. You can be prepared if you're willing to grind, if you're willing to sacrifice your comfort, your easy life, your laziness. You want it? You have to earn it. The universe doesn't hand out handouts. The world doesn't care about your dreams. The only thing the world cares about is results. Results come from action. If you're not taking action, you're wasting time. And time is the one thing you'll never get back. Do you think people who've made it got there by sitting around and waiting? Hell no. They fought tooth and nail for it. They failed 1,000 times, and every time they fell, they got back up. But you're too scared to even take one step in the right direction. You're too comfortable being almost there. You're so used to just starting that you've never really gone all in. You've never taken the fight to the enemy. And the enemy, it's you. It's your self-doubt. It's your fear. It's your hesitation. You're the reason you're not where you want to be. You're wasting your energy on stupid things. You waste time scrolling through social media, convincing yourself that you're networking. You waste time on entertainment, numbing your mind so you don't have to face the fact that you're running from your own potential. Every hour you waste is another hour you'll never get back. Every second you spend procrastinating, telling yourself that later is good enough, is another second that someone else is out there crushing it, while you stay stuck in your self-imposed prison. And the worst part is you don't even realize you're a prisoner. You think you're free, but you're not. You're caged by your own choices, and you're letting your future slip away. So here's the truth you're avoiding. Nothing in your life is going to change until you take massive, relentless action. You can dream all you want, but dreams won't get you shit. You think you can just wish for the life you want and have it handed to you. No, you have to build it. Every decision you make, every action you take, will determine whether or not you get what you want. But you're not acting. You're waiting for someone to come along and hand it to you. No one's coming. No one's going to knock on your door and say, "Here you go, here's your success." You're going to have to take it. And that means giving up the comfort you've gotten so used to. Do you think you're going to succeed without sacrifice? No. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose sleep. You're going to lose time. You're going to sacrifice things you once thought were important. But those sacrifices are what will create the life you want. You have to give up your old self, the one that's scared, the one that makes excuses, the one that stays comfortable. If you ever want to be something else, the person you've been is holding you back. The person you think you are is a lie. And until you break free from that lie, until you destroy the version of yourself that's weak, comfortable, and afraid, you'll never reach your potential. You'll never get where you want to go. You're living a lie, telling yourself you'll get there one day, but that one day is never going to come. You're in a race against time, and right now you're losing. The moment you decide to start chasing your dreams is the moment you break free from the lies that have been holding you back. But you have to commit. You have to burn the bridges behind you, and there's no going back. That's the only way forward. And still here you are waiting for everything to line up perfectly, waiting for the moment when you'll feel ready. It's never going to happen. You're never going to be ready. You have to jump. You have to fight. You have to tear down every excuse and every reason you've given yourself to hold back. You have to take the pain. You have to take the struggle. And you have to keep going, no matter what. There's no more time for comfort. There's no more time for waiting. The world is not going to wait for you to get your act together. The world is moving forward with or without you. You think you're going to wake up one day and everything will be different. No. If you want different, you have to make it different. Right now, there's no more waiting. There's no more excuses. There's only the truth, and the truth is this: you will only get what you deserve, what you're willing to fight for. So what are you going to do about it? What's your next move? Because right now time is ticking. Let me make this crystal clear: weakness will destroy you. Not tomorrow, not in a year now. Right now. Every second you waste indulging in your excuses, every moment you let fear dictate your actions, you're digging a grave for yourself. And you're digging it deeper by the minute. You think you can coast through life, hoping it'll just work out somehow, that your dreams will manifest while you sit in your comfort zone, avoiding the struggle. You're wrong. Every moment you give in to your weakness is a moment you're not getting back. And when that time is gone, it's gone forever. There are no second chances. Here's the brutal truth: every time you avoid the fight, every time you back down, you're leaving a part of your soul behind. You're weakening your foundation. You're allowing the enemy, your fear, your self-doubt, your complacency to take ground, to win. And every time they win, you lose a piece of your potential. You're not just wasting time. You're actively destroying yourself. Every decision to sit on your ass, to take the easy route, to avoid the discomfort, those are the decisions that will haunt you. Not tomorrow, not in a week, but forever. You think you're avoiding the pain by not taking action. You think you're saving yourself from hardship by staying in your safe little bubble. Think again. The pain is coming. The question is, are you going to face it now, when you can control it? Or are you going to let it crush you later, when you've given everything up, when you've let your weaknesses take root and suffocate every ounce of greatness within you? The longer you delay, the harder the consequences will be. Your inaction is a ticking time bomb. And the worst part, you know this. Deep down, you know the consequences of your weakness. You know that every moment you wait is a moment where someone else is out there, pushing, fighting, grinding, and winning. You're not blind. You see the people who are getting ahead, the ones who are putting in the work, the ones who are making the sacrifices. And deep down, you know you're better than them. You know you have what it takes. But you're sitting there, letting your fear and your laziness dictate your fate. And every second you sit idle is another second you'll never get back. Here's the reality you've been ignoring: your future will look exactly like the choices you make today. If you continue to let your weaknesses run the show, you'll wake up in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years, and wonder why your life hasn't changed. You'll wonder why you're stuck, why nothing's moving, why you're still in the same place. The answer will be simple. You didn't act. You didn't do the work. You didn't face the pain. You chose comfort over sacrifice, laziness over hustle, and excuses over action. And now you're paying the price. But don't you dare think for 1 second that you can blame anyone else for this. Don't even think about pointing fingers at the economy, the world, or anyone around you. You're the one who decided to stay weak. You're the one who chose the easy way out. You're the one who let your doubts control your life. And the price for that is high. The world doesn't care about your excuses. The world only cares about results. If you don't show up, if you don't put in the work, if you don't step into the fire and fight for what you want, the world will move on without you. This isn't about some abstract concept of failure. This is about your life. This is about your future. The choices you make today will create the person you are tomorrow. So what kind of person are you going to be? Are you going to be the person who looks back on their life and wonders what could have been? Are you going to be the one who regrets not acting, not pushing harder, not fighting for what you want? Or are you going to be the one who rises up, who fights through the pain, who sacrifices the comfort of today for the greatness of tomorrow? You can't have both. You can't have success without sacrifice. You can't have greatness without discomfort. You can't sit on your ass and expect the world to hand you what you want. If you want to win, you have to step into the arena and fight. Every minute you waste is a minute you're never going to get back. Every hour you let slip by, you're letting your future self down. You're wasting your potential, your power, your greatness. You're not just standing still, you're moving backward. It's hard, I know. The battle isn't easy. The grind is relentless. But if you want to win, you have to face the reality of the struggle. You have to face the pain. You have to face the sacrifice. And you have to make the choice to keep going, even when it feels impossible. Because the consequences of not acting are worse than any pain you'll ever feel from the grind. The pain of regret is far worse than the pain of discipline. And let me tell you something, no one is going to save you. There's no magic pill. There's no one coming to hand you success on a silver platter. The only person who can change your life is you. But here's the catch, you have to make the decision. You have to make the decision to act. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more pretending like tomorrow is a better day to start. Tomorrow doesn't exist. Today's all you have. And if you don't step into the fire, if you don't face the pain and the struggle right now, then you are choosing a life of mediocrity, a life of regret, and a life of failure. Understand this, weakness doesn't just hurt you, it hurts everyone around you. Every moment you stay in your comfort zone, every time you give in to your fears and your doubts, you're not just failing yourself. You're failing the people who need you. You're failing the world. There are people out there who need you to rise up, who need you to step into your power, who need you to be the person you were born to be. And if you don't rise, if you don't fight, if you don't take the action necessary to change your life, then you're failing them too. This is your call to arms. The battle isn't outside of you, it's inside you. The war is with your own weakness, your own self-doubt, your own laziness. And if you lose this battle, you lose everything. So take a hard look at yourself. Look at the choices you've made, the excuses you've given, the actions you haven't taken. What is the price of your weakness? And can you afford to keep paying it? Because if you don't change, the price will keep rising, and one day you won't have anything left to give. So what will it be? Will you face the consequences of your weakness? Or will you step into the fire and forge the life you were meant to live? The choice is yours, but choose wisely. Because every second you wait, you're losing. And the longer you wait, the harder it will be to turn things around. This is it. The moment you've been waiting for, the moment you stop being a victim to your own weaknesses. You've been pushed. You've been tested. You've faced the cold truth, the harsh reality, and the consequences of inaction. But now is where the shift happens. This is where everything changes. No more lies. No more excuses. Now is the time to rise. No more hesitation. No more waiting for the right moment. The right moment is right now. There is no magic. There's no grand revelation waiting to hit you. There's just one thing that will make all the difference: action. Massive, unrelenting action. You've been running from the grind, from the struggle. But that's over. The only thing left to do is to rise from the ashes of your former self and become what you've always been capable of becoming. You've spent enough time in the darkness. It's time to step into the light. And let me tell you, this is your moment to burn brighter than you ever have before. The fire within you, the one you've been ignoring, the one you've been smothering, is waiting to erupt. All you have to do is give it the fuel. You've been making excuses for too long. You've been holding back for too long. The world doesn't care about your comfort. It doesn't care about your self-pity. It's ruthless. The world rewards those who push, those who fight, those who refuse to quit. And it's time for you to do exactly that. It's time to stop playing small. You were never meant to be small. You were never meant to hide in the shadows, to let fear dictate your every move. You were born to dominate. You know it deep down. You've always known it, but you've been too afraid to let that truth come to the surface. Why? Because you're scared of what it takes to get there. You're scared of the struggle, the sacrifices, the pain. Well, I'm here to tell you something. Stop being scared. The only thing standing between you and your greatness is the fear you've been feeding. So stop feeding it. It's time to starve that fear. The truth is, fear is nothing more than an illusion. It's a shadow. It's a wall you've built up in your own mind. And all it takes is the courage to break through it. You're strong enough to do this. The moment you decide to stop holding back, to stop making excuses, you'll start to see what you're truly capable of. You'll realize that the battles you've been running from were never as big as you made them seem. The real battle, the real war, has always been with yourself. Every time you gave in, every time you let weakness take control, you chose the easy path. You let comfort win, you let doubt win, but not anymore. Now you fight back. And let me tell you, this fight is worth it. The rise is worth every second of pain, every second of sacrifice. The life you've been dreaming of, it's waiting for you, but only if you're willing to fight for it. You think success comes easy. It doesn't. It's a grind. It's a battle. It's a war against yourself, your doubts, your fears, your weakness. And if you're willing to face that battle head on, if you're willing to push yourself beyond your limits, then nothing can stop you. You know what's on the other side of this? Success, freedom, power. The person you were always meant to be. But it's not going to come to you. You have to claim it. The world is not going to hand you your dream life. It's not going to hand you your freedom. But you can take it. You can take what is rightfully yours, but only if you're willing to do what it takes. Let me be clear, there is no one coming to save you. There is no fairy tale ending. You have to create your own ending. You have to rise from the ashes of your former self and create a new version of yourself, one who fights, one who doesn't back down, one who rises above their circumstances. This isn't for the weak. This isn't for the ones who want everything handed to them. This is for the warriors. This is for the ones who are willing to step into the fire and come out stronger on the other side. And don't think for a second that the road is going to be easy. It won't be. But it will be worth it. Every ounce of sweat, every hour spent grinding, every sacrifice, it will be worth it. Because on the other side, you'll have something that no one can take away from you. A life built on your own terms. A life that you earned. That you fought for. And that's something no one can ever take from you. So now I'm asking you, are you ready to rise? Are you ready to step up and become the person you were always meant to be? Are you ready to claim the life you've been waiting for? Because if you are, then now is the time to take action. No more excuses. No more waiting. No more hesitation. You've spent enough time sitting on the sidelines. It's time to get in the game. It's time to take what's yours. The fire within you is waiting to burn brighter than you ever imagined. All it takes is your decision. Step into that fire. Burn away your fear, your doubt, your weakness, and rise. Because this is your time. And nothing will ever be the same once you decide to rise. Now stand up. Take your first step. The battle is yours to win. The rise is yours to claim, and the life you've been dreaming of. It's waiting, but you have to go after it. You have to fight for it. So fight, rise, become. This is your moment. This is your time to shine. Don't waste it. The world is watching, and the only question is, are you going to rise to the challenge? Or are you going to stay in the shadows, wondering what could have been? Make the right choice. This is it. The end. The final chapter. You've made it this far through every twist, every turn, every dark corner. But don't think for 1 second that the journey's over yet. The real fight starts now. This isn't about the past anymore. The lies, the betrayals, the dark secrets, they've all been uncovered. And now the truth stands before you, naked and unrelenting. You've torn down every illusion, faced every enemy, and bled for this moment. But now it's time to act. This isn't some story with a neat, happy ending. This is reality. And in reality, There's no room for hesitation, no time for second guessing, no time for self-doubt. The choices you make now will define everything. Every step you take from this moment forward will determine your fate, your rise or your fall. You've walked through fire to get here. You've embraced the darkness, you've stared down your demons, and now you have the power. The power to take control. The power to rewrite the rules, to dictate your own future. But it's not going to be easy. It never is. This fight is far from over. But you've earned the right to fight. You've proven that you have what it takes to win. So what will it be? Will you let fear drag you back into the shadows? Will you let doubt creep back into your mind, clouding your vision, paralyzing you? Or will you embrace the truth, no matter how painful, and walk forward with the unshakable certainty that nothing can stop you now? The decision is yours. You've already walked the hardest part of this journey. You've faced the darkest corners of your mind and the worst parts of your past. Now you stand at the crossroads. You can turn back, retreat to the comfort of ignorance, let the past haunt you forever. Or you can push forward with the relentless fury of a warrior, taking what is yours, demanding what you deserve. This is where you stop waiting for someone to save you. This is where you stop relying on luck, on circumstances, on external factors. This is where you save yourself. The battle isn't outside of you anymore. It's in your hands, in your heart, in your mind. And you know what that means. You control the outcome. You've got everything you need. It's all inside of you. Now it's time to unleash it. There are no excuses left. No more distractions. No more waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment will never come. This is the moment. Now or never. The time to rise, to become, to conquer is now. So stop hesitating. Stop looking for permission. You don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone's validation. The world doesn't give a damn about your excuses. It only cares about action. And it's time to act. Don't think for a second that you can half-ass this. Don't think you can dip your toes in and expect things to change. You have to dive in, head first. Full force. The fire is there, waiting for you to step into it. It's time to let it burn you alive, to ignite something inside of you that you didn't even know existed. The person you've been waiting for, the version of yourself you've been dreaming of, is already inside you. But you have to unleash it. This is the final command. Rise, fight. Take what is yours. No more waiting. No more excuses. Make it happen. The world will bow to those who have the courage to act. You are one of them. Now show the world. So what's your move?